There was a time when America moved with purpose, not haste. The air smelled of fresh-cut hay, coal smoke, and apple pie cooling on a windowsill. Families built dreams with their own hands, and neighbors looked out for one another. It was an age of small-town pride, honest labor, and simple joys, a chapter of America that time quietly turned. Welcome to American Restored, where we bring the forgotten treasures of the past back to life. Today, we remember 15 things that once shaped the American spirit, symbols of community, craftsmanship, and care that have all but vanished. 1. General stores on dusty roads. Every small town had a general store that sold a little bit of everything and a whole lot of heart. Wooden floors creaked beneath heavy boots, glass jars overflowed with penny candy, and the air smelled faintly of coffee and tobacco. It wasn't just a shop. It was where news was shared and friendships began. Farmers traded goods, children spent their nickels, and travelers found supplies and stories. These stores were built on trust, long before credit cards and barcodes replaced the warmth of a handshake. 2. Train whistles at midnight. There was something hauntingly beautiful about the whistle of a train slicing through the night. It carried stories of people chasing dreams and those coming home. For small towns that hugged the rails, the whistle was a lullaby, a sound of life still moving somewhere beyond the darkness. Today, that echo has faded, replaced by the hum of highways and airplanes. But in memory, it still calls to the soul. 3. Community barn raisings. When a neighbor's barn burned down, people didn't wait for help. They became the help. Men lifted beams, women cooked meals, and children ran through fields carrying laughter. By sunset, a new barn stood where ashes had been that morning. It was more than work. It was unity in motion, proof that compassion built stronger walls than any hammer ever could. 4. Penny arcades by the boardwalk. Before video games and screens, joy came from gears, lights, and laughter. The penny arcade was alive with mechanical wonders, fortune tellers, pinball machines, and dancing puppets. The smell of popcorn, the ring of coins, the magic of motion. It was a world where a single penny could buy a smile. 5. Mail-order catalogs. Thick as a phone book, the Sears or Montgomery Ward catalog brought the modern world to the most remote front porches. Families flipped through pages filled with dreams, new dresses, bicycles, and furniture that could make a house a home. Long before online shopping, this was America's connection to possibility. Slow, patient, and full of wonder. 6. Chautauqua gatherings. Under big canvas tents, entire towns came together to listen to traveling speakers, storytellers, and musicians. It was education and entertainment rolled into one, an open-air university for everyday people. These gatherings reminded America that learning was for everyone, and that wisdom didn't need walls or degrees. It only needed curiosity. 7. Tin toys and wind-up wonders. Children once played with toys crafted from tin and imagination. Little soldiers marched, birds flapped their wings, and cars raced across kitchen floors, powered by a twist of a key. Every click and were carried a handmade charm that no battery could ever replace. They were built to last, not to be thrown away, tiny treasures of craft and care. 8. Victory gardens. During war and hardship, Americans turned their backyards into miniature farms. Tomatoes, beans, and carrots grew beside white fences and clotheslines. It wasn't just about food, it was about pride and self-reliance. Each garden was a quiet statement of unity, proof that strength could grow from soil and hope. 9. Hand-painted roadside signs. Before digital billboards filled the skyline, highways spoke through art. Coca-Cola murals, Burma shave rhymes, and motel signs glowing against the desert dusk gave every mile a story. Each brushstroke was laid by hand, turning plain walls into poetry. Today, a few faded colors still cling to brick, whispering tales to anyone who looks closely. 10. Schoolhouse bells. In one-room schoolhouses, the day began with the ring of a bell that could be heard across the fields. Children came running, lunch pails swinging, shoes covered in dust. Inside, Chalk scraped against slate while lessons mixed with laughter. Those schools taught more than arithmetic. They taught patience, respect, and the value of learning together. 11. Shoe repair shops. There was a time when people fixed things instead of replacing them. When soles wore thin, they went to the cobbler, whose hands could make leather live again. The smell of polish, the rhythm of tapping hammers. Each repair was a small act of care. In a world that throws things away, that spirit of mending feels like quiet wisdom. 12. Community bandstands. On warm evenings, town squares filled with the sound of brass and drums. Families brought picnic blankets, children chased fireflies, and music drifted through the twilight. The bandstand wasn't just a stage. It was a symbol of togetherness, a reminder that joy was something you could share out loud. 13. Door-to-door salesmen. Before online orders and ads on screens, opportunity arrived with a knock. Salesmen in pressed suits carried briefcases full of brushes, books, and hope. They sold not just products, but dreams of better living. Each handshake sealed with trust made business feel human. 14. Family scrapbooks. Every household kept a scrapbook, a heavy book of ticket stubs, letters, and photographs glued in place with care. Each page told a story of birthdays, picnics, and moments too precious to forget. Long before cloud storage, these were the true family archives, made by hand, filled with love. 15. Candlelight evenings during power outages. When the power failed, families didn't panic. They gathered. Candles flickered, stories were shared, and laughter filled the dark. In those quiet hours, people rediscovered each other. The glow of a single flame reminded them that connection didn't need electricity, only presence. Final thoughts. Old America wasn't perfect, but it was personal. It was a land of makers and menders, of neighbors who cared and families who stayed close. Every sound, every scent, every handshake carried meaning. The world has changed, but as we rush forward, we can still carry those values, the patience, the pride, and the kindness that built a nation. If this journey through time touched your heart, remember to like this video, subscribe to American Restored, and ring the bell, because here we don't just remember the past, we keep it alive.